Elijah Wise is an up and coming country music star who has already played in some of the biggest venues in Tennessee. Originally from Cosby, he now lives in Music City while he pursues his dream of country music stardom. Let's welcome Elijah Wise to the show today. Elijah, thank you so much for being on with me.
Thanks for having me.
I love your music. I love what I can't remember the name of the song. She's moving on.
She's moving on. We put that back about 3 years ago, I guess, and recently took it down off Spotify and stuff because we dropped this new stuff, and we kind of wanted to get it rocking with the upper leg. So
you're gonna have to put that back because that's gonna be a staple of mine. I listened to it the other day on her website, and I was like, oh my gosh, it really touched me. So let's start out from something that really interests me. You're from Cosby originally. I'm from Newport.
Are you?
I live up Carson Springs Road. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, yeah,
I got family out there.
Yeah. So but you moved to Nashville. When did you do that?
About 3 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah. So what caused you to want to jump from Cosby, because Cosby's a tiny little town, to Music City?
Well, I've kind of wanted to play music since I was a kid. I've always had that dream, but it was, nobody's really doing stuff like that from where I'm at, and it's just kind of, far-fetched, but finally I, kind of ran out of options and was tired of spinning my wheels, in the same area. And of course, how it is out there. It's a lot of drugs and stuff going on. A lot of good, good folks too, but a lot of negative stuff out there too. And I wanted to remove myself from that,
Yeah, well, good. And you know what? There is, I think, in small towns, you do. You get planted there, you grow there and all that, but there comes a time where you have to go bigger to a place like Nashville, if you really, because it's like the box is only so big in small towns. And that's true for anything, for any job that you have. Like, I don't care if you're a CEO of a company, you might be a CEO of a small company, but if you want to be a CEO of a large company, you're going to have to go to a bigger city. So
that's right.
Yeah,
it's cool for a while to be a big fish in a little pond, but at some point you got to go. If I want to go to the next step, then I need to be a little fish in a big pond for a little while.
Absolutely. I'm from West Virginia, and somebody back home said, oh, I bet you're a celebrity there because you have a talk show. And I went, Lord, no, honey. I said, in Pigeon Forge. I said, Dolly's the only celebrity. I said, now, if I was back home in West Virginia and I had a show, that'd be different. But down here, there's so many people that do so many things and so many different things you can do that, Yeah, so, but I'm thankful. So how old were you when you first picked up a guitar and you were like, I can sing and I can play?
Oh, wow. Well, I piddled around with one when I was younger. My mom got me an electric guitar when I was probably 13 or 14 years old, and I'd beat Smoke on the Water to death until they couldn't stand it no more. And then I laid it down for years and never fooled with it anymore. And when I was about 20 years old or so, I started picking it up and kind of learning a few chords and stuff like that, where I could play some songs,
Yeah, so you're a late bloomer, really.
Oh,
when it comes
yeah.
to stuff like that.
Big time. Yeah.
So I've had people in here say they started when they were 3 or 4 or 5. And so.
Yeah, I wish that was me. Unfortunately.
Well, you're still really talented. So, whether you start early or bloom late, you're still really good. So, when did you know that music, since you were so late to it, when did you know that that's what you wanted to do with the rest of your life, though?
Well, I started wanting to do it for real and kind of no second option, no no's, for an answer.
Yeah.
Just gonna do it regardless. And probably back in, that would have been right before COVID. So, a year before that, so 2018 or so.
Like 6 years.
And it's been a growing process and a humbling experience to kind of, you get good around these people, and then you meet these people, and I don't want to even play in front of them, and that kind of thing, and just kind of go on. But yeah, it's been a while now.
But you know what? Even though you started late, in 6 years, you've gone from what takes some people a couple of decades to do. You went from starting out to going to Nashville in 6 years. So you're really, I guess it feels like you're kind of moving kind of swiftly.
Yeah, that's the goal. I ain't getting no younger, so I'm trying to double up, and kind of make up for the lost time and with the gigs thing. When I first started out, I was still doing construction and wanted out of that, but I couldn't. It was costing me money to stay and work for $10 an hour than to go play for a couple hours and make what I'd make all week
Yeah.
in a show. And so eventually they were good to me, those guys where I worked for, and they let me take off if I had a show and stuff. And at some point I finally was like, hey, I've got enough shows now. Appreciate y'all, but I gotta go.
Good. You know what? It's always good to get to that point where you can let go of the old and embrace the new and step into what you're meant to do and what your dream is. So, you mentioned Smoke on the Water and electric guitar. Who was your biggest influences when you were growing up? What kind of music?
Country music still. I learned that stuff from a guy in church. Rest his soul. He's passed away a couple years ago, but he was a old school rocker guy that liked AC/DC and Metallica and all that stuff. And he played for the church, and he showed me that and would show me a few things. But no, it's been country. I mean, I listened to some of that too. I had phases with all kinds of music.
Yeah.
But as long as I can remember, country's been my thing, and Keith Whitley's my hero.
Oh, yeah.
Keith Whitley, Alan Jackson, George Strait, all those guys
listen,
like that.
The old stuff like that. For when I think of country, that's what I think of. Now, I couldn't even tell you much country that's out now, but when I think of country, that's what I think of, like Toby Keith, God rest his soul. I mean, like all of those people back then, the Judds, Shania Twain, just all of that.
Yep.
For me, that's country. So
Good stuff right there.
yeah, that's the good stuff. So, do you also write as well, or do you just sing?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
write? Okay.
Yeah, I played the Bluebird last night. I done a songwriter thing up there. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been writing. I've been writing for a while. I recently got connected with a fella named Carson Chamberlain. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's wrote countless hit songs.
Wow.
He started out as he was Keith Whitley's steel guitar player, and so when Keith passed away, he started writing songs, and then he was Alan Jackson's tour manager and Clint Black and those guys like that. And then he wrote Everything I Love Is Killing Me, I think was his first hit song with Alan. And then later he was writing songs, I think producing for Billy Currington and Easton Corbin.
Yeah.
And then he found, I guess he was a part of the same team crew that found Mark Wills too, or he found Mark Wills, either way. But he's got a list of songs, longer than you could believe. But a George Strait hit, "The Best Day." I don't know if you've heard that one, but
I don't know. Maybe if I heard it, it might be familiar. So.
But it's wild how we came to get to know each other. Because I'd been writing songs and spinning my wheels and trying to write with everybody, because that's what they say, go write with everybody you can, meet everybody you can. And I just found myself kind of losing myself. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I guess it is a bad way, but I was just writing with so many different folks that had so many different styles that I couldn't get in my groove.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I knew when you said that, I knew what you meant. I was going to say you probably were like, it's sort of like we maybe go with the flow of who we're writing with.
Yeah.
Instead of being true to ourselves. So how did you remedy that? How did you fix that to where you were like, I just got to stay true to myself?
Well, he kind of, I started thinking that way, but he kind of validated that for me, I guess you'd say. I was looking for songs for this new record, and he was like, well, what you got going on this week? we can go have lunch. And I was like, okay. And I met up with him and was like, I'd love to write a song with you. You know, I wasn't gonna miss my shot to ask him. I figured
Yeah,
he'd tell me
exactly.
no. You know, but he said yes, and we've been writing together ever since. And he's old school, and he's still cool too. You know what I mean? So it's right. It's a perfect kind of team.
Yeah. Sounds like. So you mentioned Bluebird Cafe. Boy, that's an honor to get to play there.
Oh
That's
yeah,
in Nashville. That's an honor. You know, like all some of the biggest names have played there. Garth Brooks,
yeah.
right? I
Taylor
mean,
Swift.
yeah, Taylor Swift. Yeah. So yeah, I read that the other day. I was like, wow. So that's an honor. So
Yeah, it was really cool. How I ended up getting to play there to start with was a songwriter Tennessee songwriters competition. First round was down at the Pines. I know you're
Yeah,
familiar with that.
yeah.
And we got through that round, and then the second round was semifinals at Old Red down here.
Yeah.
And I got through that one, and then we got to play at the Bluebird.
Wow.
And I met a lady named Erica down there that runs the place, and she was like, I'd like to get you back down here. So that was really nice of her to do that. And last night was my first night there, not in a competition kind
Yeah.
of
Oh,
thing.
good.
You know.
See, you're moving along. So today I've asked you to sing for us. What are you going to sing?
I was going to play something off the new record, but I think I'll play you a brand new song that I wrote with Carson and my little brother a few months ago.
Okay, good.
Try
well,
that out on you.
Well, take it away.
All right. Well, you left in such a hurry. You forgot some of your things, like a front door key, your wedding ring, and me. Now I'm sitting here drinking, thinking, what did I do so wrong to make you find another lover and leave me here all alone? If I'd only had a clue what was going on, maybe I thought of that. Maybe I'd have taken that cheating track. Had some fun, never once look back. You'd be the one that's sad. Yeah, if I'd have thought of that. Well, I'd be high up in the Rockies, in a cabin built for two, with her doing things to me, and me with no more thoughts of you. Oh, but that's just wishful thinking. I couldn't love no one else. If I could, I wouldn't be here all by myself. Yeah, if I could be like you, well, I'd be gone with no go to hell. Maybe I thought of that. Maybe I'd have taken that cheating track. Had some fun and never once looked back. You'd be the one that's sad. Yeah, if I'd have thought of that. Yeah, if I'd have thought of that. If I'd have thought of that.
Oh my gosh, Elijah, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for performing that for us today. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Your voice is so authentic. You're authentically country. You're just like the old school country, George Strait, all of them, and I really appreciate that.
Well,
So,
thank you so much.
yeah. So what's next for you? What's in your future?
Well, my mind wanders a lot and dreams before stuff goes down, kind of always looking ahead and trying to, what does that look like? Am I ready for that? If not, how can I get ready for that? And my dream right now is trying to, like everybody else, trying to land a deal.
Yeah.
And, because recording ain't cheap.
Yeah.
And, the audience that you can hit on your own, it's been proven plenty of times, people without a deal, you can really hit an audience, but I think you can expand quicker with funding to do so.
Yeah, with a label behind you, of course, they have PR. They're going to put you on shows and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely, I don't blame you. I would definitely listen. It's hard. I know how hard it is to market your own products. My show, my books, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard. So if I had a traditional publisher, it'd be a lot easier. But yeah, I have no doubt that you're going to make it. So also, you have that. You did mention your songs. Tell us when. So like this show's going to air in May. So I'm sure that the songs will already have been out by the time you guys are watching this. I'm sure his music's already out. So, but as we speak, you just released 2 yesterday, or.
Well, we released, this will be the third one today.
Okay.
Well, what is today? Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
So it came out at midnight
Okay.
last night.
Okay, good.
So this will be the third one. There's 2 others out. She Never Liked Country was first, and then Depends on What I Drink was second. And that song, it's funny. That song, I heard that song and I was like, yeah, I got to cut that song.
Yeah.
And Carson had it.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, go ahead. And then he hollered back and said, man, I should have checked with my co-writers. That one's on hold right now.
Oh.
And I was like, who's got it on hold? And they were like, George Strait's got that on hold.
Ooh, man.
So I was like, well, my ear's telling me right then, because
Yeah.
George knows a good song.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
60-something #1 hits or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's a cool drinking, fun,
Yeah.
up tempo.
Yeah, those
thing.
fun songs are fun. I like them.
Yeah.
The beautiful love songs are great, but those fun songs, those are the songs that really, I think, get in people's minds, and you just kind of hang on to them. Everybody has a song, like, listen, Achy Breaky Heart. I'm going way back, y'all.
Yeah.
The Achy Breaky Heart. That was kind of so weird. Just thinking about Achy Breaky Heart, but boy, wasn't that made
Big
him
old
who
hit.
he was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
did, yeah. So,
Yep.
listen, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. We're going to put all of your social media links on the screen at the end of the
Okay.
show. So if people want to get in touch with you or buy your music or, even send you a message or whatever, just follow you, they can. So,
Please do.
yeah, please do. I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you for
So,
having me.
Thank you guys for watching. I know that you loved his song just as much as I did. Tune in again next week for another great episode. And remember to always dream big, because big dreams do come true.